What happens when a politician says something, and yet what is going on, unfolding on the ground, is the very opposite of what he's saying? Do you, like some Kenyans, get confused? No, that is perfectly normal. Politicians saying one thing and then doing another, that is normal anywhere in the world. Now, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka has vehemently denied of any planned union between him and Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. He has described that idea as malicious rumors. Okay, sawa, tumesikia. But let us look at what is really happening on the ground. Number one, when Sonko was arraigned in court early this week, amongst the high-profile lawyers, very many of them representing him, were two Wiper men, Mutula Kalonzo Jr. and Daniel Manzo, senator and member of parliament, respectively. Now we know that Bwana Mutula Kalonzo, like his father, is not particularly fond of Kalonzo Musyoka. However, he's a smart guy, and he knows how not to commit political suicide. And so, he still regularly takes instructions from his party leader. What about Daniel Manzo? Daniel Manzo is very close to party leader Kalonzo Musyoka. Now, for the sake of younger Kenyans, their closeness started when he and Kalonzo Musyoka plotted to lock out Raila Odinga from the 2007 presidential elections. How did they want to do that? It is said that Bwana Manzo is the one who kept the registration certificate of a party which was called ODM Kenya at the time. And when Raila Odinga refused to play ball and name Kalonzo Musyoka as the presidential candidate of this particular party, the two gentlemen took the registration certificate of ODM Kenya and quietly walked away, whistling. It was the 11th hour, and in those days, you could not vie for the presidency without being sponsored by a political party. There were no independent candidates for the presidency in those days, or for any seat. That devious but normal in politics move could have worked very well for many others. However, not for a man called Raila Odinga. He somehow pulled a rabbit out of the hat and got a party, also called ODM, which he purchased from a certain controversial lawyer hailing from Meru. And he was suddenly back in the game. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Manzo is Kalonzo Musyoka's right-hand man. Mutula Kalonzo Jr., being the only Wiper lawyer, representing Sonko, may have been a coincidence. Could have easily been interpreted as a coincidence. But with Manzo there, I don't know, you tell me. Number two, Johnston Muthama this week has been very busy rallying leaders, elected and non-elected, to approach Deputy President William Samoei Ruto for a possible alliance going into the 2022 elections. Now, apart from a very ugly misunderstanding between Johnston Muthama and Kalonzo Musyoka going into the 2017 elections, the two gentlemen usually read from the same script, always. And in any case, most Kenyans know that Kalonzo and Muthama have patched up. They've made up their differences. They're friends once again, politically. Now, for the sake of those in the dark, who don't know what kind of politics Muthama and Kalonzo actually practice, let me just quickly remind you of a certain incident that happened early in the first administration of Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua. Mutua convinced a Dubai investor to set up a car assembly factory in Machakos County. And the land was identified. Papers were signed. Financing was in place. Everything was ready to go. And of course, such a factory would have created massive employment opportunities for folks in Machakos County and well beyond. And then suddenly, Mudhama and Kalonzo happened. They went to court and contested the idea of Mutua donating that land to that investor to set up a car assembly line. The case dragged on in court. I believe it is still in court. And meanwhile, this investor from Dubai vanished, disappeared, lost appetite for the project. And you're out of your mind, completely out of your mind, if you think that this move by Mudhama and Kalonzo was made to protect public land. No. It was made because had it gone through, Mudhama and Kalonzo would never, ever have been able to touch Alfred Mutua politically. So Mutua had to be stopped. Who cares about the benefits to ordinary wananchi? Who cares about the benefits to residents of Machakos County? Anyway, number 3, for months now, there have been persistent reports that Kalonzo Musyoka and Deputy President William Samoei Ruto are holding regular meetings. What are they discussing? Who knows? Maybe they're discussing the weather. Or maybe they're discussing how honey can be exported from Kalonzo Musyoka's backyard of Kitui to the Rift Valley. I'm telling you, Kenyan politics. Number 4, and this one is not for everybody, a certain prayer warrior who is a staunch follower of this channel told me sometime in 2017 that they received a vision showing an alliance between Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka. When she told me this in 2017, my response to her was that in politics, anything is possible. However, this one, impossible. I told her that I did not want to disbelieve her, because she's a prayer warrior. She's a woman of God. However, I was very honest with her. I told her I just can't see the arithmetic that would lead to such a union. But admittedly, now I do. You see, the truth is, Kalonzo Musyoka has been receiving, at the most, lukewarm attention from the BBI and the president. My guess is that they do not believe that he has that much political clout for it to matter to them. Besides the other individuals from the combination that the president and indeed Raila Odinga take much more seriously when it comes to Kambani politics. And these are Charity Ngilu, the Kitui governor, and Kivutha Kibwana, the Makueni governor, and of course Alfred Mutua, Machakos governor. These 3 individuals combined have enough political clout to take on and defeat Kalonzo Musyoka any day. Maybe some of them cannot do it on their own, but together they definitely can. And so, Kalonzo Musyoka has to find another way to survive politically, to remain relevant. That is my present day arithmetic, political arithmetic, of how such a union could come to be. Now also take careful note of the fact that Kalonzo Musyoka has never been known as a bold politician. No. Why do you think he got the nickname? You know which nickname? You know that fruit which doesn't have a clear, distinct color? the watermelon. Yeah, that one. Now, before you rush off and write that comment about things on the ground being different, let me remind you of one political reality in Kenya. It is not the people who often lead a nation, a community into a political union. No, it is the political leaders who do. Political leaders in Kenya put their people into neat compartments for their own selfish political gain. That is how the game of politics is played in Kenya. And so, Kalonzo Musyoka is not going to make any bold statement about his plans for 2022. Not yet. And the views of voters on the ground in Ukambani at this juncture are irrelevant. That, my friends, is a political reality. Now, there is another reason why the Deputy President urgently needs alliances close to him. And if you take in my latest weekly intelligence briefings, number 25, you will understand what I am saying. Send that blank email to the email address you see on your screens right now, and you'll receive an automated response immediately, giving you details on what to do to join the WIB and get this highly sensitive information, which is not in the public domain. It may not be clear to some people why these videos in WIB are sensitive and are never put in the public domain. I understand that. But trust me, because I've been in this game for a long time, almost a decade and a half. So when I tell you something is sensitive, it is highly sensitive. Anyway, Kenyan politics is getting even more interesting and even more scary by the day. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.